Right. Funny when I walk away. We'll get started. We'll roll our shoulders back and down. Just like two. And then let the arms slowly float up towards the sky. Big sun breath. Exhaling. Breathing in. And just relax. One last time. And we'll hold the hands up. Climb our ladder. We're lifting the hips. Lifting the rib cage off of the hip. Shifting the weight. And then a big breath in with both hands. Exhale out and down. We're going to forward fold just a little bit to where it's comfortable. You can sway side to side, loosening up the back. Now, this is called a rag doll. If it was carried, it would sway to and fro. You can also draw little circles on the floor with your fingertips. Now remember, today, do it your own pace. Listen to your body. If anything hurts, just back off. Don't do it. Wait till the next time. I'm going to reverse the direction of the hand. Come to the center and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders lift to the ears and push back and down. We shake your head yes. And we'll go right into our sun salutation, bending the knees, scooping forward, lifting up, reaching to the sun. And then hands come down to the ground, fingertips touch the mat. You can walk your hands down the legs if you would like. And we'll step back with one foot then the other to our push-up plank. Now you can be on the knees or the toes. Just do what's best for your body today. And we'll slowly lower down. From here, look forward to a cobra or upward dog. Toes dig into the mat. And hips lift up and back. You could be a puppy dog on the knees or a downward dog on the toes. Adjusting for your body. You can walk the dog, bending one knee, then the other, alternating the feet. And then we'll slowly stand back up. So you can walk the feet in towards the hands, walk the hands up the legs. Slowly stand again, shoulders lifting to the ears, rolling back. Bending the knees and scooping forward, reach to the sun. Hands come down to the ground. When we step back with one foot, then the other to that push-up plank. You can be on your toes or your knees. And then we'll slowly lower down where you can relax to the mat or be in a hover, like chaturanga. And then we'll look forward, your upward dog or cobra. Now, elbows can be bent or straight. You choose here, and we'll dig your toes into the mat, hips lift up and back. The puppy dog on the knees or the downward dog on the toes. And slowly walk the dog if you would like. Bending one knee, then the other, alternating the feet. And we'll walk the feet in towards the hands and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders lift to the ears and roll back and down. Shake the head yes. Adjusting the feet, hands will go out and up. For our crescent moon, leaning to the left. Hands can be together or apart. And then we'll let the left hand drop. Turn the palm up on that right side. We lift the hands, looking up to see the sun, creating a little shadow with the hands to block our eyes. Breathing in. So we hold the pose and out the breath. Stand tall, place the hand on your head, and let the head fall over the side. I'm going to stretch down the neck. Now, on the left side, we'll wiggle the fingers, rotate the arm, loosening up our shoulder deltoid muscles, keeping them warm. With each rotation, we'll go ahead and go a little higher towards the sun. And then the hands come together at the top, down heart center, a little pressure with the palms. Hold here and take a big breath in, expand the rib cage out to the side. And exhale, melting down, emptying out all the air. Inhale, expanding, breathing in. And exhale, belly button pushes towards the spine, pushing on the lungs, diaphragm. Last big breath. We're going to lace your fingers, push the palms down, you stretch out the arms, shoulders will relax. Nice soft neck. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. Or the mouth. Feeling the length down the palm of the hand. Stretch out the elbows a little longer with the arms. And then bring the hands together. We're going to go to our lotus flower. Letting the hands come out at the top. We're going to show flower a little bit of sun as the elbows come closer together. It's okay if they don't touch. Shoulders push down. We're stretching the back around the scapula here in our lotus flower, gleaming with the sunlight. Now we're going to bring the hands down, fingertips touch in what we call the spider. Adjust your feet anytime if you have a little tension growing around the ankles or the toes. In the spider, you can relax the elbows, relax the shoulders. We stretch the fingers and the palm of the hand. And we can come back up towards the sky. And our crescent moon on the other side. Now we lean over to the right, left heel digs into the mat, hip pushes out. Now the foot can be right next to the other foot, or you can even bring it back, creating a little curvature in that crescent moon. Hands can always be apart or together. Now we're going to go ahead and lower down the right hand. Left palm turns up, elbow pulls back. Looking up to see the ceiling, see the sun. And blocks the sun from our eyes, creating that little shadow. I'll take one last big breath in and stand tall, placing your hand on your head. The head falls to the left, right hand, extend, swivel the fingers. And then rotate the arm, turning the palm up and down a couple times. And with each rotation, we'll go a little higher towards the sky. As we come up to the top, both hands push the sky as if we're lifting the roof off the building, lifting the rib cage off the hips, standing tall, stretching the spine. And breathing in and exhaling. We're going to allow the hands to fall down to the sides. Wiggle the fingers, the toes, grab water if you need. Shoulders relax. To get ready to move on, we're actually going to have your hands come just to the knees for a moment, and I want you to bring the elbows out, almost like the wings of the bird. Pull the belly button in, so we're kind of rounding the spine, arching the back, and looking at the belly button. It's a standing cat pose. So a cat that was scared, it would arch its back. And then we'll bring the elbows in to the rib cage, push the palm of the hand into the leg. Shoulders roll away from the ears as we extend the spine. We look forward, bring the bottom lip over the top lip, push the hips back, stretching long, breathing in. Now exhale, elbows come out, and we go back to that cat. Tucking the head under. Then inhale, looking forward to the cow. Extending the spine, hips pushing away. Tuck under to the cat. Rounding the spine. And inhale to the cow. Extending the spine. One last cat. Arching the back. And inhale to the cow and our extension. And then we're just going to let the hands slide down, the head relaxes forward. And then when you're ready, roll up one vertebrae at a time, pushing the toes and heels into the mat. Standing tall, shoulders roll back and down, take your head yes. And from here, we adjust the feet. Think of the feet being on railroad tracks. We have one foot on each track, and then the left leg slides back. Heel lifts up and down a couple of times, and you feel that heel push into the mat. And find your focal point for your eyes as the hands lift towards the sky, shoulders relaxing down. Breathing in through the nose. Out. Creating a lot of space between the ear and the shoulder here. Now pushing with front toes and the heel, we're going to forward fold. Now, if you'd like to have one hand on the knee as you forward fold, we're changing the focal point to look down at the big toe as we melt to the front. You also could have both hands on the knee as you melt to the front. It's called a bowing warrior. So we're moving from warrior one to our bowing warrior. Now, once the hands come towards the ground, you can put them on the knee or you can let the arms sway, loosening up the shoulders. And then we'll go ahead and place your hand on the knee. Shift your weight forward and back, readjusting, and dig that back heel into the mat. So we feel a big stretch on that calf muscle. Pull the belly button in and slide the hips back. So we're trying to stretch the back of the bent leg, that underside, that hamstring. We push the hips behind us. Now you can keep your hands on the knees, or you can extend one arm or both arms to reach back behind you as we stretch out the spine, push the crown of the head a little bit farther forward, chin tucks in, raise the eyebrows, lengthen out as far as we can, creating a tabletop that we can place our water bottle on. Breathing in and exhaling out. So digging into the mat with our toes, we'll lower the hands down. You can place one hand on the knee, both hands on the knee, or reach one hand or both hands to the front of the room. And eventually the hands will come down to the front knee. Rock back and forth a couple times. We'll keep the legs where they're at because we're going to straighten that front knee. Now both legs are straight. We're still pushing in the mat with our toes, but place your hands on the hips. Turn the palms back. Now, if you'd like, your fingertips might touch. You might even lace your hands or your fingers behind you, or just place one hand on top of the other. We're going to forward fold in our peacock today, changing that focal point for the eyes once again to the big toe in front as we melt to the front. Now your hands can just stay on the lower back, but if you'd like, you can lift one hand or both hands towards the sky. Those peacock feathers today. So the hands can be apart or the hands can be together. You can have one hand stacked on top of the other hand. And the fingertips laced. You choose what's best for your body today. Pushing the mat with the toes. Last big breath in. And then we'll exhale. Release the hands and place them on the front knee. Walk your hands up the leg till you come to a standing position. Bend and straighten the knee and step all the way forward when you're ready, walking in place. Adjusting the legs, and we'll go to the other side. You might feel one leg is longer than the other. We're going to take your right leg back. Lift up the heel, place it down. Find your focal point for your eyes as the hands lift forward to the sky in the warrior one. Shoulders relaxing down. Nice soft neck. So we're feeling that big stretch in the right hip as it comes up and forward. Now it will be a bowing warrior one today. If you'd like to have one hand on the knee or both hands on the knee, you may do so as we forward fold, changing that focal point down to the big toe in front. And your hands to be on the knee. Just let your hands and arms just relax forward and down, swaying. Now we're going to go ahead and place your hand on your knee. and shift your weight forward and back. So flip the back heel and then place it back down. So you really want to feel that stretch in the back calf, really lengthening out. Now, as you've shifted the weight, we're going to hold and push the hips all the way back so you can feel that stretch on the back side of the bent knee. Now, you choose if you want to keep your hands on the knee here, or you can reach back with one hand or both hands, pushing the shoulders away from the ears, stretching out the spine, a nice flat tabletop, pushing the crown of the head forward, chin tucking in, raising the eyebrow, breathing in and exhaling out. One last deep breath in. And then lower the hands down. Place one hand or both hands on the front knee, or you can have one hand or both hands reaching to the front as we tighten around the center of the body and lift up tall. Hands come to the front leg. We're going to rock back and forth, but keep the feet where they're at. You can lift up the toe in that rocking horse if you'd like. But then we're going to shift the weight so both legs are straight. Hands will touch the hip and then turn the palms back. The back of your hands are resting on the lower back. Now, if you'd like, you can stack one hand on top of the other hand, or you can lace the fingers, or just let them be apart. Find your focal point for your eyes as you slowly forward fold again, melting to the front. Preparing for the peacock, belly button pulls in, hips push back. And then if you'd like, you can lift one hand or both hands towards the sky, lifting up those peacock feathers, showing the beautiful blue and purple and green. And our peacock pose. We'll take one last big breath in. And we'll exhale out. Release the hands down to come to the front knee. Push with the toes, tighten around the center of the body and walk the hands up the leg. So we come to a standing position. Bend the front knee and then shift the weight, opening up out to the side of the mat. And we'll lift the hips up and down, adjusting the knees a little bit. And hands will come up towards the sky. We'll go right into a tree frog, bringing the elbows out, hands out, spread the fingertips wide, the webbed feet of the frog, dropping the hips down, knees kind of come back towards the baby toe. Pose in a tree frog or a god or goddess pose. And we'll take one last big deep breath in here. And when you're ready, we'll slowly lift. Hands will come out and down, turn your toes forward, walking the feet in just a little bit. Hands touch the upper thighs, the hips. And we push back, letting the hands lower, glide down the legs. Shake your head yes. And shake your head no. Shake your head yes again. A wide angle forward fold. Hands can be anywhere you choose. And then we'll slowly walk the hands up the legs, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, coming to the standing position, shoulders roll back and down, doing something that's called a penguin pose, shifting your weight side to side, wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, rolling the shoulders down, loosening up the neck. And then we'll hold steady, turn the left toe out. Bend and straighten the left knee. As the knee comes back, you see the big toe on the inside, inhale, lifting up halfway. The shoulders relaxing down. I'm actually going to bend the left elbow and look over, so your right elbow, look over the left shoulder. And then we're going to pull back, like we're pulling back a bow and arrow in our warrior two today. Now you can lift finger, finding your focal point to shoot the arrow. It might be the whole hand. Your hand can be flat. Take a big breath in here, push with your toes, and then lift. Getting ready to shoot the arrow towards the sky. Big breath in. And then exhale, release the arrow, release. Right hand down. You can wiggle the fingers. Rotate the arm. The arrow flies to the sky. Feels the breeze. And we'll slowly lower down with the left hand. Right arm lifts up, and we're going to straighten the left knee, going right into a triangle pose as the arrow falls to the ground. You can look down at the ground, to the side of the room, or up to the sky. Breathing in. Exhaling. Left hand can also be above the knee, anywhere on the leg. Try not to push on the knee, it can hyperextend backward. Right hand can be high or even on the hip, or even reaching over your head in your triangle pose. So let's go ahead and bend the right elbow. We're going to reload our bow and arrow, pull the arrow back, and slowly lift up the arm and bend the front knee. We'll look over the shoulder again. Lifting up. So in our warrior two with our bow and arrow, we're going to lift up towards the sky, pulling back, and then releasing. You can wiggle the fingers at the top, rotate the arm if you would like. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly lower down, letting the arrow fly, straightening that left knee. And you can look down at the ground, to the side of the room, or up to the sky. And last big breath in. Bend the right elbow and reload the bow. Lifting up, bending the knee. Let's go ahead and lay the bow down. Turn your toes forward, and we're going to do a side lunge, placing one hand on each knee, shifting your weight side to side. And then we're going to come over to the right and tap the left toe. Toe lift up and down a couple times. And then you determine whether you want the toe up or down here. We're going to hold. Hands could be one on each leg or both on the same leg. Have a little bend, a big bend. Belly button still pulling in and up, hips pushing back. Let's come back to the center. Place the foot on the floor, one hand on each leg. Shift your weight side to side. We're going to shift over to the left. Right toe tap. Hands can be anywhere you choose. And we'll choose whether we want to have the toe up or down. You can even have a hand on the floor. That's more comfortable for your body. Hips pushing back, stomach pulling in. Take a big breath in here. And slowly place one hand on each leg, shift the weight side to side. And when you're ready in the middle, we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders lifting to the ears, pushing back and down. Shaking the head, yes. Let's turn the right toe out. Adjust your weight and we'll bend the right knee. Bring the knee back so you can see that big toe on the inside. See all 5 toes in front of the knee. Inhale, lifting up halfway in our warrior two. Shoulders relax down and we look over the shoulder. Breathing in. And we're going to bend the left elbow. Pull back. Loading our bow in our warrior two. And you can lift up the finger or the hand if you'd like to have that extra stretch in the palm. Take a big breath in. Pull back with our bow. And we'll lift towards the sky. When you're ready, exhale, release the hand down. Wiggle the fingers on the right. The arrow flies to the sky. You feel the breeze on your arm. Goes through the trees. We'll take a big breath in. And exhale down, straightening the right knee. And it can be anywhere on the leg, wherever the arrow falls today. Adjusting for your body, pushing the toes into the mat. You can look down at the ground, to the side of the room, or up to the sky. deep breath in. We're going to bend the left elbow and reload our bow, lifting the elbow off the ground. Bend the right knee as we go back to that warrior two. Go bow and turn. Holding, taking a big breath. And we'll lift towards the sky, pulling back with our bow. And then release, shooting the arrow within the fingers of your bow, rotating the shoulders. And then we'll slowly lower down, straightening that front right knee. You can look down at the ground to the side of the room up to the sky. Always remember that left hand might be on the hip, it might be over the head. Just adjust for what your body needs today. And then we'll slowly lift back up, pushing with the toes, bending that left elbow to tighten the core. Then lower the hands down, lifting the bow. Bend and straighten the knee, walk your toes in a little closer. Rock side to side in that penguin pose. We talked about moving the toes, the fingers, the shoulders, loosening up the neck, and we'll just rock until we come to the front of our mat. Grabbing water anytime you need, adjusting the feet. Shoulders roll back and down, shake your head, yes. And we're going to say goodbye to the sun, but first, with a little roll of the wrist in our tiger cub. Reverse the direction, going the other way, pulling the muscles in the arms and the fingertips move. Now that tiger cub does not want to get out of bed today, so it's going to pull its covers up and over. We'll turn the palms up as we lift, pulls the covers over its head. Now extend out the fingers, stretch, nice and tall. And we'll bring the thumb and the pointer finger together so it creates kind of a triangle at the top. Take a big breath in. Exhale out through the mouth. This triangle is called the mouth of the tiger. Breathing in. And exhaling. Now bring the pinky in to make a fist. Hands come down halfway. And the tiger goes to climb out of bed, pushes its covers down. So the strength of your hands push towards the ground. And the tiger cub comes to the ledge of the den, looks over and down the mountain, into the valley. And take a big breath in and lower down all the way. Hands can trace the leg. You might have your hands on the back of the legs as we forward fold, or your fingertips might just come to the floor, swaying side to side in that ragdoll again. You are also welcome to draw the little circles on the floor. Reverse the direction. Here we'll bend our knees and let the fingertips touch the mat. Now as we bend the knees, we're actually going to go to a monkey pose and turn the back of the hands onto the ground. So the palm of the hands turn up and fingertips turn in towards the toes. But the knees are bent. They're squatting down just a little bit. We're stretching the back of the hand. And then I want you to slide your hands underneath your feet from your monkey pose, turning it into a gorilla pose. Look at your belly button. And then begin to pull up with the hands as you push down with the feet. You might begin to straighten the knees a little bit. They're not going to straighten all the way probably, but what we call our gorilla pose. As the head tucks under, it allows the shoulders to open, while the stretch under the scapula. Breathing in and exhaling out. Let's place one hand on the floor, then the other step back to all fours. It might be the downward dog on your feet. It might be the puppy dog on your knees. Or you might go into a dolphin, which would be on your elbows. Eventually, we are melting onto our knees to a child's pose. So as you feel ready, we'll come down one knee, both knees. Shift your weight back with the head fall towards the ground. Hands can be forward, or they can be to the side or next to the feet. You choose today. Wiggle the fingers. Just slowing the heart rate in the resting pose of a child. When you're ready, we'll place your hands underneath your shoulders, lifting up to all fours. We're going to go in a clockwise pattern, leaning the hips forward to the 12 of the clock. And then we'll push the hips over to the number 3 to the side. Hips push back to the number 6. And then the 9. Nice circular motion. And our clock today, or sundial. Now, the next time we come forward to the 12, we're going to hold. And then just push the hip over to the number 3, holding to the side. You can hold on your hands, or they can be on your elbows, or one of each. As the hip pushes out, you feel that stretch around the hip, down the outside of the leg towards the knee. And then we'll come back forward to the 12 and go counterclockwise. So from the 12, go over to the 9, the 6 and the 3, nice circular motion. Now remember, if this bothers you at all, you can always just hold, returning onto your stomach. That's where we're going next. We're going to come to the 12 and then push over to that number 9. You can be on your elbows or your hands or one of each as the hip pushes out to the side. Breathing in and exhaling. And slowly come back forward to the 12 and lay down on the stomach. You might be on your elbows to begin with, but we're actually going to extend out let's do your left arm to the side. Support with the right hand and drop the left shoulder down. Lift up the chin and set the ear on the mat. So that left ear is touching the ground. If you would like, you can stack the hips with the right hip on top of the left, the right foot falls behind. Your right hand can extend out to the side. It might come up forward or even on the hip. But if this bothers you at all, having the hips stacked, please stay on your stomach. Roll back onto the stomach. Be gentle with the body. The left hand that's out to the side, it can be anywhere on the side of the body. It might even be next to the leg, wherever it feels best. This is called your scarecrow pose. One last big breath in, and we'll roll onto your stomach. Right arm extends, adjust the rib cage, drop the shoulder down, rest the head on the mat, lift the chin, lift it off the chest. Stack the hips if you would like. With that left hip on top of the right hip. Left hand can be on the hip, it can be on the floor, arm can be extended or even forward. You might notice that the left foot falls behind the right in your scarecrow. And then when you're ready, roll onto the stomach. Those hands extending out, shoulders lift up, back and down. In our prone cobra, toes might be off the mat, or they might be on the floor, wherever you feel comfortable. Hands can lift, or you can even have the fingertips supporting or lifting the chest off the mat, strengthening the muscles in the center of the body around the spine. Shoulders push away from the ears, the neck is soft. And we'll bring your hands forward. You can stretch out long, hands on the mat, hovering over the mat, or some people even add a little swimming motion. And then lower the hands down. Gently drag the fingertips into the center, elbows push into the mat, and then the hand into what we call the Sphinx, like the front of the Egyptian pyramid, sitting tall and proud. And then we'll bend your right knee. We're going to shift the weight so the right hip pushes into the mat. We're trying to feel the stretch from the knee to the hip, those 4 quadricep muscles. Now that may be all the stretch you need with just the knee bent. Your head can be high or low. You can rest the head down towards the floor. But if you would like, trace the right hand down and around the knee into the foot. You can hold on to the foot, the sock, the pant leg if you would like. It can be with that same right hand. or you can use the opposite left hand. You can use both hands, both feet, but I give you time to do one leg at a time, so you never have to do both legs. So always listen to what your body needs, really. Comparison. Yoga is for you. Every body is different, so everybody will be different in their poses. So we're going to slowly release, bend and straighten the knee. And we'll change sides. We bend the left knee. We're going to shift the weight, pushing that left hip into the mat. If you'd like, you can reach back, holding onto the foot, the sock, the pant leg, and our bow. It's like a bow and arrow. You can use the same hand. You can use the opposite hand, both hands, both feet. Does not matter today. Just listen to what your body needs. Now, this is one of the most important stretches. You can relax the head down or the head can be up. But it's important because throughout the day, we sit in a chair, car, couch, computer with that knee pulled into the chest. So we need the knee to come back. So we're stretching out the front hip flexor. One last big breath in, and we'll bend and straighten the knee. And we'll bend both legs and let the legs sway side to side, loosen up any tension you might have. And our pendulum or windshield wiper, windscreen wiper. Then let the legs fall down. You're going to place your hands underneath your shoulders, lift up to all fours, sit back, taking the knees a little bit wider into what we call the wide angle child's pose, or it can be the frog pose again. This time we're facing the floor, opening the hips, spread the hands wide as the elbows come closer to the knees in the frog pose. Resting the head down, turning it either direction where it feels comfortable. When you're ready, we're going to lift up to all fours and tuck the head under to that cat pose. We introduced this earlier while we were standing. We're going to try it sitting down, rounding the spine like a cat that's scared or upset. And then we flatten the hands down, push the hips back, shoulders, push away from the ears, hips push to the back, ball bottom, lift over the top lip, stretching long. Exhale to the cat, tucking under. Inhale to the cat. And exhale to the cat. And inhale to the cow. Nice flat back into the center. The tabletop left shoulder will now come to the left hip, looking at the left hip. Right shoulder to the right hip, looking at the right hip, wagging the tail side to side today. And a side cat. Moving the spine in all directions. And then we'll come to the center. And from here onto our elbows, hands come together into a child's prayer. So these are our prayer hands. We walk the elbows forward, shift our weight back. Now you can dig the toes into the mat, having the heels high and the hips high, or you can curl the toes or flatten the feet. So we're going to shift our weight back and bring your hands behind the head. As the shoulders drop down, we feel the length under the arm, on the back of the arm, that tricep comes around to the bicep, releasing the tension of the trapezius on the neck. Helps prevent that little bump on the back of the neck. We soften the muscles, chins tucking in. And our child's prayer. Hold the belly button to the spine, really push the hips back and away. Stretching out the spine. And then lower the hands down. You're going to lift up to all fours, lean to the side and bring your feet around to the front. Shake out any tension you might have. Point and flex the feet. Relax the shoulders down. Shake the head yes. Shake your head no. We're going to bend the left knee. You might cross the left foot over or leave it right next door. Right hand comes forward, left hand comes behind your back. We turn the torso, the shoulders, the neck to look to the back wall, creating a little tension, maybe hugging that front knee or putting the elbow on the other side of the knee. Arm can be straight or extended. Getting ready to cradle our baby. We're going to untwist, place one hand on the knee, one hand on the foot, lift up the leg and loosen up the hip, cradling and rocking our baby. Now your hands could be anywhere on the legs, the feet. If you would also like to give the arms a rest, you can place the foot on top of the knee and bring the foot or the long leg in. Just resting the arms and cradling and rocking the baby without your hands. And then we'll slowly lower the foot down, setting it on the ground in a wide angle forward fold. Now the knee is bent. If it's more comfortable with the leg extended, go ahead and do so. We're just using it as a reference. Walk the hands forward. It also allows us on the right side to stretch under the knee a little bit more. Now we're going to walk our hands to the right leg. Point and flex the foot a couple times. We're trying to feel that stretch on that little space or behind the knee. As the toe lifts up, we'll keep left hand forward, right hand behind your back, turning the torso, the shoulders, the neck. That spinal twist sitting down in our triangle. It's a reverse triangle. We had our triangle standing up today. That's when the arrow touched the ground. Okay, we're reversing it on the ground. We're going to go right into our pigeon pose, walking the hand all the way to the front and around to the right, that left side. If you want to bring the left foot in, if you extended it, go ahead and do so. As we come to the left side, right leg comes back behind you. You stretch out the leg, pushing the hip forward. Now, it does not matter where that leg is. We're just going to stretch out the hip. You can have the knee bent and feel the stretch from the knee to the hip, pushing the hip forward. That's all we need today. Head can be high or low. Leg can be bent or straight. Now, the right hand can be on the right leg or the left foot, the left knee, or even the floor. You can rock side to side and have a sleeping pigeon melting down onto the elbows, head resting on the hands or the floor. But you might have a king pigeon with the head up high. You get to choose what's best for your body today as we stretch the hip. Some people have the knee bent, straight. A lot of options in our pigeon pose. King pigeon, sleeping pigeon. Still breathing in through the nose. Exhaling, relaxing into the stretch on the exhale. When you're ready, we're going to rock side to side, lifting up, awakening the spine. Shift all the weight to the left, left hip, left hand, and then the right leg comes back to the front. Shake out both legs straight. Maybe even massage the knees if you need. And we're going to bend the right knee, cross the foot over. Left hand comes forward, right behind the back. Turning the torso, the shoulders, the neck. That spinal twist sitting down. Now you can be giving that front knee a hug. You might just have tension with the elbow and the arm. Some people extend out the left arm and wiggle the fingers. Whatever is best for your body. And then we'll come back forward, place one hand on the knee, one hand on the foot, cradle the baby and rock it side to side. And then we'll place the foot on the floor, adjust your feet or your hips. Now, if it's uncomfortable with that knee bent, you can have both legs extended. We're going to walk your hands forward and then over to the straight leg or that left side. Keep right hand forward, left hand comes back behind you and we look to the back wall, or you can look down at the hip in a reverse triangle sitting down today. And then slowly come back forward and to the pigeon on the other side. Hands walk over to the right. Left leg comes back and around and extends, pushing the hip forward. And the left side, knee can be bent or straight. Left hand can be on the left leg or the right foot, the right knee. Or you can rock side to side, rocking the pigeon to sleep, or have the king pigeon with the pigeon sitting up tall, or just stretching out the left leg and the left hip. Now the left knee might be bent or the leg can be straight. You choose. We'll take one last big breath in, awakening the pigeon, rocking side to side, lifting up and bringing that left leg to the front. Stretching out both legs here, shaking out any tension point and flex the feet. Shoulders roll back and down. And we're going to do a flying butterfly. This is one of my favorites. Adjusting the hips to our butterfly pose where it feels comfortable. And then let the hands extend out. We're going to bring the pinky in. And then the thumb making a fist. That fist comes to the shoulders, elbows lift up, around, and touch in the center and comes down. Now we're going to extend out our thumb and then our pinky stretching the arm. Bring the pinky in and the thumb making that fist, elbows lift up, around, and feel the opening of the rib cage. The thumb extends and then the pinky. Pinky comes in during this open, and elbows lift. Come around to the center and down. Thumb extends. And then the pinky stretching the hand. Pinky comes in our flying butterfly. Inhale. And exhale. Do all of that one more time. Inhale, bringing the pinky in. Elbows lift. Around to the center and down. Thumb extends. And then the pinky. Pinky coming in. Elbows lift. Up, around, and thumb extends, and we'll fold. Place your hands on the knees. Knees come to the center, and we roll like a ball onto your back. You can lean to the side to come onto your back, or just roll straight back, rolling up and down, maybe massaging the spine. And eventually we'll be all the way on our back, placing our hands on our knees, drawing a little circular motion, and then reverse the direction of the circle. Place the feet on the floor, lift the hips up off the mat. We're going to do a bridge pose, creating a straight line from our knees to our shoulders. Some people tuck their shoulders under, holding on to their ankles, or lace their fingers underneath the body. You can just let your hands relax to the side. Now we are digging our toes and heels into the mat, pushing the hips as high as possible, tightening the glutes. So we're strengthening the knees and the ankles, as well as shifting the weight, gravity, increasing the blood flow to our brain, getting fresh oxygen. And it also creates a little bit of space between our organs, letting everything shift back into place. Lift the heels off the mat. Take a big breath in. And then from the shoulders, we'll roll down, exhaling one vertebrae at a time until the tailbone's the last thing to touch the floor. Let the knees sway side to side. The low spinal flex. Now we're going to come to the center with the knees into the chest. Give the knees a little squeeze, a gentle hug, and rock side to side, flattening out the natural curve of the back. Open your arms like the letter T at the top of the mat. Allow both legs to fall to the left. As we look to the right, you might extend out one leg or both legs. A full spinal twist. You just close your eyes, relaxing into the stretch. And slowly bring the knees back to the center, rock side to side. Let the legs fall over to the right or the other side. You can extend out one leg or both legs, whatever feels best for your body. Bring it over the left shoulder or away from the knee. Closing the eyes. Taking a big breath in, expanding the ribcage. And exhale, melting into the stretch, sinking deeper into the mat. And you stand on the beach, breathing in and exhaling. Bring the knees back to the center. And we'll lengthen the legs towards the sky. Place your hands on the legs. Now it doesn't matter where the hands are as we go into a joyful, happy baby today. Your hands can be on the legs, the saw. Yogi toe grip with middle finger and thumb around the big toe, but the legs fall out to the side. Knees can be bent or straight, doesn't matter. You can rock the baby from side to side if you choose. Now we think of lengthening the spine nice and long to the front of the room, and then create a bowl with the body in the joyful, happy baby. That bowl is created by pushing the belly button down to the ground, hollowing out the stomach, and then wrapping the tailbone around and up to the sky to create the bowl. You can choose to rock the baby if you like. And a big breath in here. And exhale, bring the legs back to the center, give them a little squeeze, hugging the knees. And then place the feet on the floor, lengthen your toes to the front of the room. Fingertips to the back of the room, stretching, growing a little longer, a little taller. And then the hands come out and down. Shoulders roll back and down. Flex the feet, make a fist with the hands, and tighten all the muscles in the body. Tighten, tighten, squeeze. Release. Feeling the difference of the relaxed body. Now this is your fourth pose. The next few moments is yours for rest and relaxation. To close your eyes, clear your mind, and let your body be at peace. Keeping your eyes closed, begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And then slowly roll onto your right. When you're ready, open your Nice. Walk yourself up to an easy sit position. Might mean the legs are crossed or they're straight or anywhere in between. And draw a little circular motion, loosening up the back, awakening the spine. And reverse the direction, going the other way. And we'll come to the center and lift the shoulders to the ears, back and down. Loosening up the neck, we'll let the hands fall to the side and come up to the sky, hands down, heart center. And then we'll reverse the direction, fixing the back of the wrist. Shake your head, yes. And shake your head, no. Shake your head, yes, again. And then we'll inhale, listen up. Exhaling out. Inhale for the body. Deep and soft. Inhale for the mind. Inhale for the spirit. Bring your hand, heart center. Namaste. Namaste. Thanks for coming today, guys. You guys are awesome.